Today's project is poppies, red poppies. Basically it's going to be a useful guide into wet in wet. Maybe some wet in wet in the first stage. Almost without too much consideration for how the finished picture is going to look. We need quite a lot of raw sienna, a weak mix. As you can see, that's not strong. Windsor red, which is a colour we haven't used before, again not too strong. Ultramarine, and cerulean blue. Now we'll get a feel of some greens because we're putting the raw sienna on first and introducing the blues. So we get a variegated mix, something like that one. Let's put a little bit more cerulean blue in that mix. There we go. A big brush is probably best. So I'll use say a number 14 and a number 12 and start with the raw sienna. Quite a liberal application, all in the top part of the picture to start with. Come down to the left hand side, just a little bit where those poppies will be. You need to be reasonably fast putting this on. You don't want this to dry before you start putting the blues and other colours in. I'm going to drop in some ultramarine just here and there. Windsor red. Just a bit in that top part. not enough for it to be a single self colour. This needs to, as I say, be wet. So there's this white, almost line going through the centre of the composition. I'll put in some ultramarine down here in the bottom, keeping the top light, and also some cerulean blue. What I'm trying not to do is to stir in any area. These are just almost flicks, and let the colour do what it wants to do. You see the texture that's being created because of the these blues, ultramarine and cerulean blue, are both heavy colours. I don't mean dark, I mean heavy. They settle in the texture of the paper, so they almost drop. I just think perhaps a couple of cauliflowers might work here, so I'm going to wet that area. It just softens the hard edge and adds a damper area to a colour that's drying, so we could get some cauliflowers that might just be quite attractive there. I'll just take out that. A little bit more cerulean down here. And there we have it. We'll see how that works out. There's little areas where I would normally pick up a build-up of liquid, but it might be just worth leaving it to see if we get an attractive cauliflower effect. So we'll let that dry and come back in a few minutes. I'll just zoom in so you can get a better feel of how the colours have merged.